Hey, how's it going, dude? Choose your favorite character. Fatal Fury special for you. Got the Terry thing going on today. Terry, how's it going? Happy Saturday evening to you. Nothing too much. Are we even live? I tend to wait a couple. You tend to wait a few minutes at the start, unless you look at some of the monitors, which is the main thing you love. And I'm sure this thing's live. But I've been in a little bit of a Neo Geo mood lately, I suppose you could say. So, video I did the other day, and it's cool that video was so well received. Love music and video games, so the amalgamation of the two creates a form of art, whatever way that you do. It is quite enjoyable, so I appreciate people liking and watching that video. I mean, it's genuine, I'm assuming. So I'm glad I can provide you with that. But yeah, there's just a couple of the fellas and I, a good buddy from Barcelona, we're discussing the new Neo Geo, I guess Blaze Pro is putting it out cabinet, which is similar to the Unico MVSX, which has the 50 preloaded games. By the way, with a really nice scaling algorithm and scanline filter on that Unico MVSX. It is not without its flaws. For instance, I'm 6 feet tall, and even if you were a little bit shorter, it's going to cause you some problems bending down with your neck to see over what the marquee area is. So I kind of hope they remedy that situation with the base for this new Candy Cap version, and it's going to include 40 games. So we've been told instead of 50, like the MVSX came with. But that's pretty interesting. And I like to goof around in my posts and my descriptions and everything. So in a sort of tongue-in-cheek way, but you never know. I did kind of mention like, hey, do I get the goal or the assist for that one? It's just randomly on a, and I'll show you the book that I was looking at, the SC19 old cabin. Of course, I've known about it for years. So I've never owned it. But I was just looking at it in that book, and I was thinking to myself, I was playing the MVSX the other day, and it's really a fantastic little replica arcade machine. So I was thinking, and I've talked about this before over the years. I feel like people, if they follow my channel, they know I've mentioned like, well, Arcade One Up is cool, but the execution is all wrong. And it'd be nice if they could do candy cab style cabs like that. So it's not really new, but coming from me, as you guys know, but just recently was thinking about it again, and yeah, I made a post about it'd be cool if Unico could do a candy cap version of this MVSX, and lo and behold, it was like at Evo Japan, like 10 days later, the announcement came out. So correlation, I don't know, but hey, if they want my input on it, a thing or two about the video. And obviously, like it would have taken a lot longer than that for a prototype to come to market. But it's just kind of an uncanny coincidence, really. And I like to have fun with my posts. I mean, people like them, so I think people have fun and enjoy whatever comedy and entertainment and insightfulness I can provide you with in my posts. So that was a fun one. Enjoyed talking to you a little bit about that. So. Hold on one second. I do have like just a couple of things. It's somewhat of a rehash, but not everything, and we'll kind of look more in depth. Nothing. Maybe we'll sit down, play some games, put on some tunes. Because I've been enjoying my company as a gift sent me a. I never had one of those iPads before, but I got one. It's awesome because that was free from the company's choice of a few things. I went with that. And, yeah. It's nice to have like the visualization of the music video. Listening to some, going back, the old classic '90s grunge alternative, whatever they would like. I just like to think of it as like great rock music of that era. But, playing some stuff on here. Fun. Valves and Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, Pantera, and the Sony ULT10 is like it's quite a sound system. Fill out your old street. Let me grab a couple of books I'll show you. And this will be interesting. I don't think I'll be on very long tonight. And sorry, I don't know how loud the games are and me yelling. I do my best. No audio mixing or anything like that. But yeah, it's just having some issues with this old iPhone battery, so I'm kind of tethered to the wall for the stream. Of course, it's on the pole tripod, so I mean, maybe we'll be able to play some games. I'll try my best to walk around the room with it. Pole, give you some Elvis Presley, James Brown. Wow, thank you very much. We'll walk around and just a couple of little additions to the room. Just in the cosmetic, like interior design sense, what I'm trying to, obviously, as you can tell, like, been working on a Japanese game room aesthetic, which takes a lot of traditional Japanese interior design shit and puts it towards like an art. Because I've never seen people. There have been a few, but usually, like when you would see game centers, like everyone I've ever been in, and that's quite a few in Japan. They have like a very hygienic, almost hospital. Like sometimes it's a little bit like droning on, with, like it's kind of creepy in a way. Like you can think of it. Sometimes when it's like late in the Club Sega or something, and there's just rows and rows of cabs and like hospital lighting. Anyway, I want to bring more of a traditional Japanese vibe with the interiors. I'm still working on that too. It's come out nicely with all the posters and advertisements and some furniture items. But yeah, I'll be right back. Rambling. I'll ramble. So yeah, allow yourselves to take a few minutes to just observe the monitors. Could be like 5 or 10. I'll try and make it quicker. We'll see. Um, yeah, I'll be quicker. I'll be back. Hey, if anyone's there, sorry about that. What's up? If you're still there, Luke, sorry, man. You know what's funny about the streams? If you think, so I think if you just, like I was in another room there, I think if you just type when they do the replay, like whatever conversations you had via typing, that they don't save them. So the PGM, well, basically we were just talking about a PGM. It won't be there probably, the text. So we were just talking about a PGM motherboard. So I had a consoleized IGS PGM motherboard a long time ago, 15 years ago or more. And it's so So there are a few things right off the bat, with those things that can cause problems. Like it's the corroded. Hey, Luke, what's up, man? So I was gonna say just the first thing that typically, like you're hoping it's something that maybe is easy like that, and the damage isn't too severe. Is just the battery corrosion, like that green battery on that thing has a tendency to just leak like madness. So it's always a good idea to like go ahead and clip them out. I think most people would suggest. Now, like in doing that, I guess you do sacrifice the MVS style score saves, but I don't really know if the PGM did that anyway. But there's really not much effect other than something like that, correct? So I think I had mine for a while before I knew about that, and I do recall like I'm telling you, maybe 12 or more years ago, clipping that battery out just to be sure. So it was weird. It was like I was in Washington D.C. for business, like back and forth for a while at that time, and then when I came back to Atlanta and fired it up, like I hadn't fired it up for a while, and it was just dead, strange. Okay, see, I'm not sure. I'm just reading. Sorry, I just saw it. I'm not sure if I tried that or not. Did clean the contact points, like the cartridge and insertion. I don't know. Do that. And definitely with all the different game cartridges, I did clean them as well. Oh, man. Oh my god. Yeah, the battery, right? Yeah. It's definitely that ticking time bomb. Yeah. And I didn't even know about that for a couple of years, man. And then when maybe I heard about it from you all those many years ago, so I was like, shit. I went and clipped it out, and it was humming along, working great for like 5 years after that. So it was something else. By the way, come find me, Nasan. We're gonna go crazy with some zero alcohol. But yeah, so like with my CPS2 boards, I actually, and I know it's interesting with that. Some people are against doing it, and they really want to preserve the battery and change it out every so many years. But none of us have the time or effort to like required to really do that. So, like what Razula and uh, Suomi in Finland. So I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure all of my ROMs have been like all of my game boards have been Phoenix because that's just a lot of people will like pay extra for that or want to get it done. It just depends on the buyer. There is the collector who wants that, and then there is the collector who doesn't want them Phoenix, right? And then I guess now there are other tech. That was like the early stages, the Razula method. Now there are other ways, right? So that are actually better, I guess. As time progresses, people get more adept at doing all this. Yeah, man. See it. I'm just reading it. Like, yeah, I agree. I'm on board with you totally. You know, and I know, like you're saying, there are those who will shun others. I don't know if you remember when so Moomert did which of course you know very well also. So Moomert did the he was one of the first guys out there that I can recall who did a really in depth, a really good video, step by step process of sort of going through how to install the dark soft kit on the CPS2 board. And believe it or not, there were people who came in like, he got a lot of flack for, oh, you're destroying original hardware. It's like, come on, give me a break, fellas. Okay, see that's it. Yeah, like I was saying, I had heard about what you mentioned about the, I guess the improvement on the Phoenix process because it was kind of a painstaking thing. You'd have to ship all the stuff out and remove it, back then. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what you mentioned there is like that's the perfect example of what I kind of feel too. Even though they have the skill and know how to do it, it's just there's only so much time in our days and in our lives on a larger scale. And like you said, when those things do inevitably get stored away, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's what I feel like too. They're gonna forget, and then the suicide. Yeah, yeah. No, you're 100% right, man. Because like I'm saying, even back in like 2012, I was I was all for Phoenix from the get go. Just the suicide battery scared me so much, and even my there is the see what was it? Even the CPS dash, and I'm sure you, man, I can't remember, and I do apologize. Like I've missed a lot of videos over the years. I just haven't been looking at my feed, but I do still watch your videos periodically. Like I saw the I've been enjoying Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder as well the past year, and I saw you recently. I enjoyed that video, the one you. I forgot to. I didn't get around to leaving a comment, but I did watch it. No, but I mean, I used to enjoy. I mean, yours especially. But like, look at that. They're synchronized. See the two Neos? Almost. We'll get to a point where all three do the splash screen jingle at the same time. It's wild, but it will happen if I have this running long enough. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, back in the day, it was really enjoyable. Something I looked forward to a lot, like every day on my lunch break or at work or when there was like some downtime, just to like open up the subs feed and just see what the friends are doing, and then it just seemed, gradually, of course, over time, the amount of people that like we know that are really doing videos has dwindled down significantly. I know, yeah. But if it's some like yeah, you're if you yeah, they have. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's so confusing. I gave up really trying to keep track of what you're supposed to do or not. I realize like now I've learned. I feel like I know a little bit about it to where I know that YouTube, for some reason, likes certain types of videos that I do more than others. And it does not care at all, man, for the kind of videos I used to do that were more of, I don't know, more of a serious nature, maybe. Yeah, it's all real difficult to like keep track of, and it just seems so random at times when you get. I mean, for me, it's a different story. I guess we're all kind of. I don't know. There's certain numbers. If I see like, oh, that got watched this many times, that's for me better than usual or what have you. Yeah, like there's a shortage of, and people will shun me too for saying this, but there's still nothing like just seeing somebody pick out a camera, right, and an arcade board or a console or name anything. It doesn't matter, and especially when it's on a CRT. I'm biased there, but anything just like live to be in the room with whatever kind of hardware they're using. I could never get into the screen capture, like capture card videos. They just seem so lifeless. Because you're like me for and like a lot of us. It's like there's that tangible physical thing that you're holding and preserving and collecting that makes it more meaningful. So when your gameplay is combining that, I just think doesn't it have to be that way? It should be a prerequisite. That should be the rule. But yeah, and I really used to do a lot of those, and I kind of stopped doing them. But mine are not. Like I said, there's certain. How for me it's fine because I enjoy doing these types of videos the most, the ones that people like the most. And it has to do with the way I film these monitors and display my room and just the artistic side of all of that. But people are not that interested in me sitting down and talking and playing a game. Like for you, definitely they still are. Because I guess that's like, well, you did that really well at the beginning when there weren't that many people doing that. Yeah, yeah. I had I picked it up at what is that place called? Data Micro Center. It's a pretty cool store here. It reminds me of like the old Japanese electronic shops. It's kind of like the best thing we have over here. Oh man, that Akari stage in Last Blade, that's beautiful. That's like my favorite stage in the game. It's the background too. Yeah, so I picked up years ago, and there's still you can see the remnants of what the bloody thing did. Because I still have a couple of videos on my channel, other than the Wii U ones where you could do the uploads and some PS4 stuff where you could do that too. There are still a couple of videos where I used that. It wasn't El Gato. I don't remember what it was called. It wasn't the cat, but it was some kind of captured. It was the how page. That one, I think. Am I saying it correctly? I can't remember how it was spelled, but I think it's that. So yeah, I think I did an Automatia's Excellent and what I don't know, a few other things. Oh, Super Mario Sunshine. I did a few because I love that. Not Sunshine. I love that game too. But Super Mario. God damn, what is it, man? I'm forgetting. The Super Mario 3D World, is that the one I'm thinking of? Like the pretty groundbreaking one for the Wii U. It didn't have an upload feature like Mario Kart, I guess. So I think I used that device to capture a few videos. The one where you get the cat suit. I did uploaded a few of those. That's a beautiful. That game is still pretty beautiful. Yeah, Wii U. Yeah. Man, I got that. I remember picking that up in Washington D.C. At East Starland, and I know you remember you've seen the video because I think you commented on it years ago. One in D.C. Big game store there. That is one of the better ones that we have over here in the States. East Starland, or at least it was. And then of course like Video Games New York in Manhattan, and well, it's kind of like more like Greenwich Village out that way, right? I feel like that part of it. But Video Games New York also. Yeah, I know you've seen both of those videos. I did say you know. Yeah, back then, so back then they would put ads on all of your videos, regardless. And I think they've backed off of that a little bit. I'm sure I've heard, but I know that happened, man, because back then they were really insane. I do remember a video that I did. I don't even know what it was for, but I had on my Sony PVM in my game room 2 game rooms ago. The one where the game room tour 2016 is still my most popular game room video. It was just a video one day I was filming in there, and on my PVM 1954Q, I had a GameCube. Speaking of all doing old name drop, Old School 81 from Florida sent me that GameCube for free. John, super cool guy. I don't know of his whereabouts now. See, that's what I'm saying. So many people vanish. He's right here down south in my neck of the woods. But he's a cool guy. But you know, all I had was the on the GameCube. Do you remember the game? It was like a Zelda collection, a compilation. I will not remember everything about it, but there were 4 games on it, I think. And Link to the Past happened to be one of them. So just a video. I wasn't even talking about Nintendo. One of my videos where things are on in the background. I got copyright flagged for like 5 seconds of Link to the Past, the theme at one point. I'm like, come on now. Yeah, it was madness, right? Yeah, and it's I don't get any corporation or company that is opposed to free advertisement, right? It's like we're kind of doing their job, and we're not making a dime off of it. Because you know what the fucking truth is, buddy, is that actually I had not seen a commercial. Now I'm not a big TV watcher. I haven't been in a long time, but in 2012, when the Wii U came out, I had no idea, man. I don't know how, and a lot of people didn't over here. But it's weird. I guess I was so focused on retro games. I had no idea about this Wii U. So Nintendo did do a pretty piss-ass poor job, it must be said, of marketing it. There was that issue. But the craziest thing, and I still recall this, like it was yesterday, your video from Japan, when you picked it up, I think it came out a little bit earlier there. You were showing the Wii U, and I am like my head exploded. Like Nintendo was my first system as a kid, like in 1986, and I've loved every machine. I don't know. I did not know about it from a commercial or at a store or anything. It was your video. I'm not kidding. So that's kind of like an old anecdote of how bad the marketing actually was here. Yeah, Nintendo, they always have been opposed to free publicity, which is pretty mind-boggling. Yeah, right? The Wii U. Wow, that was it seems like yesterday too, but it's wild to think that was like, no way, that was, how long ago was that? Like 14 years ago? Yeah, it's wild. God, it's 2012. It's like kind of slips your mind, but it does feel just like it was yesterday. I'm not even. I kid you not. In my mind, at least. That's the bizarre thing about the passage of time as you age, the way you perceive it. Things they seem to go by a lot more rapidly. So really, in my mind, when I have like the ability to capture photographically, vividly, all these emotions and memories over time, it's like I could wake up tomorrow and it could be 2012, and I wouldn't be freaked out. And like, I don't know. I guess it would be, but you get my point. Oh yeah, of course, Ken and Keith. Um, I and so Keith does. I do comment on Keith's videos still out in Seattle. He's one of my favorite guys out there. Really good guy, and just really good person too. Cool YouTuber, all that. But talk to him a bit behind the scenes about stuff. And, yeah, I like Keith a lot. But and then Ken too. He was always he shipped me that Bucky O'Hare PCB for nothing, and he also gave me free of charge. What the heck was it? It was a Charlie Ninja PCB. It's kind of some not so common boards. That was unbelievably, and he's always been a super cool guy. He's just as in that same boat with Keith. Remember back in 2001 when I would do a lot of streams. I actually, and they did a few of them back then. I was really kind of in close contact with them at that time. We were talking a lot. Getting those. Well, so Keith. Sorry, I just saw it. Well, Keith is in Seattle, and Ken is in Dallas. I don't know where in Texas, but if they were like, I'd like come over anytime. Yeah, he's the best, dude. He's just a straight stand up guy, dude. Straight up YouTuber Hall of Fame. I put both of those guys in that. They're welcome. They're welcome to come visit, but that logistically and financially for every it's just it makes it tough to do that. But yeah, those are two guys that I would feel comfortable like inviting into my home. I wouldn't be worried or nothing. We've talked a lot over the years. Man, it's the interesting thing about here in Atlanta. It's like there seems to be there is some kind of scene because I go on like the local like classified ads for whatever. Like, it used to be Craigslist, right? But wherever there's a bunch of them. And so it's amazing. You see some really crazy things. Atlanta's a big city, so like the metro area, it's like 6.5 million. But you'll enjoy this, or anyone who's listening will enjoy this. Um, I'm not kidding you. I've contacted a guy because I saw his listing. I'm like, you just do not see this ever. This guy in Atlanta had a Darius. No, I swear to God, an original Darius cabinet. And I just thought, oh my God, how I've been. I would look for those back in the day, periodically over the years. Never saw anything, and then just out of the blue, randomly, like the past 6 months in the ATL, which I hate that name. It's stupid. Um, the ATL. I like that one. Flames come up. But yeah, man, a guy here actually had that. He had that, and the asking price was like astronomically ridiculous. And in a sense, I don't blame him. I think he actually sold it, but I mean, he wanted basically the price of a car, uh, a used car for it. But I do believe, that's the sign of the times too, man. As you know, like with how uh, just like real estate market over time, everything, you can compare it to so many things. It just seems to move away of it. But if let's say you were able to locate an original Darius cab back, I don't know, maybe 2008 or nine, I guarantee you could get a steal of a deal back then. This guy wanted 8 grand. It's like a used car. And in a sense, it's like it's not really a bad, like you see candy cabs going for like 3, 4 grand now, like beat up ones. What the hell? So maybe it was kind of actually all things considered for that an interesting price, but it's like that's like one of those things where you see like an AES game like Metal Slug One. It's like it's interesting when you see articles and videos like this sold for this, just almost like the bizarre fascination. But it's like the number is just it's like watching a horror movie. It's like it's kind of fun. It's kind of makes you uneasy. Looking at that price tag is the same thing. It's just a weird fascination with it. It's never something in your wildest dreams you can afford. But you know what I'm saying? Just for us guys in the hobby, it's interesting to track the value of things. It's gone crazy, the market for these beat up, ratty, roached cabs. And they are less and less plentiful. It's like back in the day, I bet Ken made a killing back in the day in Texas, in that right Dallas, like 'cause it's a big city. So I bet he was probably able to stock his barcade. Which, by the way, is it still in business or did they? Because a lot of these things tend to shut down. I don't know what he's up to. I bet he was able to find a lot of those for such a good deal and build out his own, independent business basically with that. It's weird, man. Like in my mind, this memory is like I'm kind of drawing a blank or not filling in all of the. Maybe there's some gaps in my mind in the like timeline. But so I remember it was like several moves later that you had documented. There was like three, I think, at this point. It was like at that point was the time where I remember you did that video where you did several videos showing a big room or you had your collection. But I think that was the house where it was like you said like I got rid of all the cabs and you're like maybe in the future we'll get some. I was always wondering like did you ever end up getting it? Or you just got out of that? Yeah, see, because back then you were getting really good deals on the candy cabs that you would pick up, or at least better than we could get them here, just due to proximity, obviously. But some of them were pretty beat up that you would restore. But so I'm curious, are those deals a thing of the past now too? You just even the beat up ones over there. I mean, are they kind of going up in price? Yeah, man. The cat, like, well, your cat. At one point, it was pretty epic what you had, but I still have two of mine, and I don't know. I was just thinking about those cabs the other day, and I went. I mean, then you go on YouTube and you look up. Of course, my videos come up near the top, and yours did. Yours did too. So I watched some of the old ones. It's funny just to go back in time and look at all our old stuff. I mean, those videos were awesome. You did. They were some of the best back then. Oh my God! That's yeah. I don't even know. I think you did mention that. Is that the one you got on the Yahoo auctions where you had that system of it was like literally the listers would almost make an error that you could exploit by putting something so low, or you just hop on it. I don't know how it worked. It's just there's like so many of them, right? And they do expire, so some slip through the cracks, I guess, and you were able to. I mean, that is probably. See, I don't remember if you mentioned that specifically, but that's got to be the best deal anyone's ever gotten on one where you had to pay, other than like the ones that maybe people had received out of the junkyard for nothing. Yeah, now it's like everything. Do you have those? Oh man, so like I've got a couple of those. Did you have the one like the men who turn their like homes into arcade rooms? It's a Japanese book and they made 2 volumes of it. I was actually going to show that book here on camera. I got so distracted talking about things, but I've posted a few things about it, and this is the second one. Really cool to see these guys' personal collections, and there's even like a QR code to hit up their social media. I mean, a lot of them are in Japanese, but I was looking at these the other day. Like he made a bar top, like a little mini Darius 2 cabinet. So it's clever. It's with widescreen little monitors. I guess it wouldn't be that hard to do. But yeah, here's the second edition of the book. I went upstairs when I went upstairs. I was trying to gather a few things, and I couldn't find the. I found this one. Man, not everything is still at my place very well organized. I'm working on it perpetually. No, I'm actually getting. I am getting somewhere near where everything is really where it needs to be. But some of these rooms are not. It's kind of dark. What's I noticed in these books is that people in Japan, like I see a lot of the Space Invaders arcade one-up cabinet because it is pretty cool. I've seen that like 5 or 6 times in documented in photographs in Japanese home collector arcade books. So that one's popular. People are importing. I mean, I get it, like the history of that game in Japan with the like Invada, like complete invader rooms, whatever they were called. Just those cocktail cabs. So I've noticed a lot of Japanese people are importing that, and the seems to be pretty popular over there. I see that in a lot of home collectors' rooms, and I've done several videos on that Unico MVSX. I really do like that, so I can see why they would too. Oh man, dude, it was back then too. When I was, yeah. I mean, now it's like I can't even imagine. It must be actually. I feel like it must be so expensive. Everything. Yeah, they had those like done like documentaries even on the Invader cafes. Invader or Invader, right? Let's get our katakana right. I thought this was really cool. I was going to show this. See if I can do this. I'm having really bad iPhone problems. But I thought this little shoji lantern there is a nice touch. I don't know. I think it looks really awesome in person. It gives that nice kind of glow there. But there's a couple of things I'm doing. Like I got another one for a space between. Um, so so I brought that San Pellegrino down, and now it's probably warm. Um, They're nuts. It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm. When the nephews are at the I don't know, like the pool bar, and the guy's like, Toblerone? He's like, I don't drink. It's like, it's chocolate, Larry David. It's like San Pellegrino. It's water. But there's the racing setup, the G27 wheel, and I do have that Brook Resolution too. I talked about all this in videos. Yeah, found on like a larger size one there to go where that little Mega Man bar top is in between there. I'll do a couple of things, touch up the room, but I think this wall came out really awesome. Just the chord. How do you like that one? Look at that vintage Odeon, buddy, from Okinawa. It's like that used to be a beer I like. I would drink that in Fukuoka and pretend I was in Okinawa. And in Kyushu. And this one's cool. Look at the Hawaiian and the kitty. I'm kidding. Asahi mirror. The PBR, Aoi Aoi Dibon, which is not what. That's how. That's how they did it. Then we got the Akihabara one with the little open sign. And the old like train. Izukyu Shimoda. Like that's like. I'm sure you've been out there, man. That's like a nice little beach town area, you know. I love the coast. Oops. Oops, sorry about that. My thing rotated. I think maybe the stream went off for a second. But yeah, dude, I used to love to because it's not really that far. We do JR. It's like 45 minutes JR train rail, like to get to Kamakura, where there's the giant 800-year-old Buddha that survived that. Well, there was that massive tsunami of lore that it survived. That thing's impressive. When you're up close to it, it's quite an impressive edifice. I mean, Japan was just it's unbelievable. Like I'm envious of you, kind of, man, because I did really like it there. But I love Brazil as well in the U.S. So it's just you are where you are. Yeah, the Daibutsu. He's a big old hefty green fella. I mean, that town is beautiful too, right on the coast. I like the beaches there too. They're fun. Not it's like not there are warmer places, but in the summer, as you know, it's like Japan is hot everywhere. Is it really? See, it wasn't quite. I mean, I could maybe see some of that occurring at the time a little bit, but I even thought I don't know. I like there was this bar, and you can probably look it up. I think it's still there. It was like the California Seedless Bar, and it was like an American California coast. You know how they like to do those theme things over there. They do a good job with it. It's like a California coast Japanese kind of take on it right there at a beach in Japan. Just go there and have some pizza. Girl I was with at the time, and like pour a kidding and just. I just have a memory of one day us being there and they were playing Grateful Dead, "Go to Heaven." It's like fun. I love the Dead. That's one of my favorite albums. So when I play that song, it's like I still remember that. It's weird. Inside you burning, I can see right through. She was a pretty girl. Too. I know a lot that I liked over there. I'll be right back. Hey man, sorry about that. Back just using the restroom. Oh, you had yeah, it was good to chat. I don't smoke anymore, dude. So because I know you've had that battle too over the years. How are you doing on that? Just real quick, I don't mean to keep you too long, but I actually I quit uh, like November. I think it was like October, November. I quit. No cigarettes, no vape, any of it. So it's like it's been like about a half a year. But I started doing a lot of exercising, like just going on long walks and runs and stuff. You kind of 10 years. That's awesome, dude. Man, that is a long time. You did, yeah. It's kind of like you sort of have to because if you just keep pacing it, and I don't drink anymore either, dude. I mean, it's like that's not the crime of the century. I mean, smoking is awful for you. Drinking is too. That's really why I stopped. But it's not like I'm not preaching to people. Don't do that. It's just I don't, and I do feel good not doing it. Stone cold sober. I still got like the old Japanese like vintage like hard. Some of these are tough to find like alcohol advertisements like Oreo and stuff. But it's like I'm not drinking. Yeah, I thought it was like the vibe was. I thought it just like it fit nicely where when I put the little bumper pool table in there. But yeah, buddy, always good to chat. I'll go. I'll look for that PGM board. Maybe I know I don't do these much, but maybe I'll look for it and let you know. But hey, take care, man. Always good to chat. So all these live messages stay, but it's weird when I type to you like I was typing at the start. They don't. That's the difference. But like the other people stay. I was just thinking I didn't word that right. Yeah, dude. Take care. But the book's interesting. Like, actually, this is. I think people will know this guy. He is this the guy? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person. But I thought this fellow did a YouTube channel. So there's a guy in if you can read the katakana right there. Furansu Padis Padi. That's their katakana. That's kind of how you say it. Right? But yeah, the French collector. His room is pretty awesome. You can see a lot of good candy caps there. And he has a Sagaya cabin there. Speaking of the one I saw in Atlanta recently, this guy has some cool stuff. Like I love those Jaleco Mark threes, the silver ones that are curved down like that with the small marquee. That neon yellow, blue, and green. It's just a sweet color combo. But yeah, thought maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy. If anyone knows, you can chime in. I mean, nobody would know. But he had, I think this guy had a YouTube channel for the francophones out there. Um, no, not many would watch my channel because it's an English speaking channel, but they would know him, I guess, if this is the guy I'm thinking about. And I kind of thought he ceased all activities and sold his stuff off. Maybe he's not the right guy, so that's him, I guess. And that's just a different thing. That guy's got all three versions of the Mini Cute. Coca-Cola neons, I like it. Maybe those little candy like cocktails or saw like the guy who imported Cap's Kin, a different Kin, not Kin, the YouTuber who we were talking about in Utah. He would have these in. I think he had a place in Southern California, right on Quest 2. He would sell these from time to time. Now that's rarer than hen's teeth. You never see one of those. Never ever. It would be a chilly day in hell. Oops, let me move that. Yeah, I've been on a little. Oh yeah, there's something. Another thing I wanted to show you. Before we get to that, it's cool. Like this guy, he used the IKEA Billy. I like how those Billy Oxford shelves. I have the exact same ones in my game storage area, and I've kind of done the same thing. It's cool to see that. TBM rack. This is neat to look at this stuff. I did get around it. I got this. I don't know. This is gonna work. Apparently, sorry, I'm getting stuff out of the box. So can you see? It's not like the. I don't know. I think the ones that where they originally came from are hard to source now. Like it, but it is a GD ROM emulation. It's just like it's a bag of pots. We got a bag of pots here. It's a bag of pots and some more. I hope this is manageable. I've heard that it is. Is it CRTcade proof? We shall soon find out. Hopefully, I can manage. And I've done a few little. I do some handy things here and there. Joystick replacements and workarounds. We'll see. So. Here's this fella. What's in there? Slow to open. Double Impact, the best game on the system. But this, it's a little yellowed out. But that's okay. I don't care. Yeah, it just doesn't read discs anymore. So I thought that is not very expensive. This 3D. But let's see if we can do a little bit of. Speaking of this guy, speaking of Gil, resurrection, Gil. See if we can Gil this motherfucker. Install that. I don't know if I can manage to make it all work out. Remember, I'll make a video on it. Is there something cool I wanted to do? I have I told the story before, but that was my original Dreamcast that I bought when I was a cashier at Media Play. Media Play, fall gifts. The commercial. Ridiculous. It was an awesome store though. Like, yeah, I think the paycheck that I bought the Dreamcast on launch. The one and only time I've ever bought a console on day damn one. Philip Banks, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, that episode. Day damn one, Will. But yeah, I bought the Dreamcast on the first day. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm scanning the old memory bank real quickly, and I cannot. Yeah, that's the only time I've ever done that in my entire existence of video game console purchasing. Huh, interesting. And it's like I can't say that it was ever my favorite. Like back in the day, I would have, obviously the Saturn is the best, but I would have even put the Genesis above it. But it's like, man, as time goes on, well, the thing is, when I got more into like the AV tech side of things, I was kind of amazed at just the piece of hardware it is. The display possibilities are so fun with this thing. I mean, it's like same thing with the Xbox 360. Any console that can do all those different resolutions and go VGA, like, you know, from standard definition to high resolution was what it would have been called back then, 480p via VGA on one of these RGB PC CRTs. It's like, damn, it was, even to this day, it is mind blowing in terms of picture quality. It looks so. I've shifted so much over the years to being like, I don't know, I really love this machine. And it's just, I think it's the display tech guy in me. But it's like, then again, Street Fighter 3 is my favorite Street Fighter game of all time. So that is saying something. So yeah, I do think, in fact, I guess I like the most. I'm not saying that it is the most robustly made system of all time. It's far from the worst piece of hardware ever designed. What was it? The most models of the PS2, the big fat PS2. That's the most faulty piece of defective hardware ever designed in any capacity. This one's not. It doesn't have a great track record with the laser boards. So yeah, mine that I bought on launch, all of that just stopped working. So whereas my Sega Saturns are still going strong. I've got 3 of those. One of them has like, and similar to what I'm going to try to do with the GDU. It has the mode installed on it, and then the other, the black one, the Model 2, my original one, my buddy Stephen Hunt gave me back in 8th grade. Gave it to me. Really cool guy. Got a PlayStation. That's how people were back then. It's like you enjoy it more than I. So he just wouldn't. When he got that PlayStation, it was like he never touched that thing again. He just gave it to me. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, I still have that from '90, a long time ago. I still have that one. It still works, and it is older than this. And I got a Model 2 Japanese Saturn, which I got many years after. I think it was pretty well taken care of. And being that it's sort of a dedicated Tate mode Saturn, that for the 27-inch Electron, it's like it doesn't really. There was a time, but these days I don't use that. It's so rare. I'm totally out of playing vertical shmups. In fact, so much so that I dismantled the Xbox 360 over set up over on that desk. That was kind of a permanent fixture. I just decided to take it down. I took out 3 CRTs and opened things up. I like it a lot better. I was just bumping into shmups. I did play Garaga a little bit the other day. He's been using a while. And I always, that's like. What's in there? No, I did have Batsuit on it recently. And I think it was I just had it on in the back. I maybe played it like one time and gotten back around. It's not cool. I don't think I can do this. I'm tired today. I'll just show you. Ooh. Clumsy, just kicked it. But they're comfortable. Yeah, these are cool. These posters. My Barnes and Noble. So the NES cards. This far later. I put a flame bulb in there at first. It was pretty cool effect. I might put it back in there. But you can just change that whatever you want to. It did look. You know, some flame bulbs are better than others. So I've seen. Some of them look like realistic. I used to have some of them up there in these sconces, and that's like I can't remember if they were all that. They were okay. They were somewhat believable. Kind of fun though. A fun effect to have. Let's play some fun. It's easy enough with this. It's getting a little bit later. It's like we used to. I used to just put late night when I would do streams. I would just put some music on, and I think certain. I don't know how that is. It's like you never know what they're. It can't be something really well known. But still, I just don't know what. You don't want that to come in and mess up all that nonsense. You know, everything seems to copyright stuff. Virtual racing over there is so fun. I'll try. It's hard, you know. Um, I've just been focusing on it's like Daytona, like all of them, as you'll call beginner, intermediate, and difficult. But even the beginner, it's an arcade game. It's just like there are 3 stages of their difficulty increase. Still, the first one is really hard too. It's funny how it's worded. Anyone knows. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, even that first track is great in that game, but you really have to. Plus the checkpoints, they're really unpredictable. They do not give you much time checkpoint to checkpoint. I even had like really good races on that course where I'm in first place, coming down the straightaway, ready to checker flag is there, and you still miss it because of the checkpoint time. Like, that is brutal. You know, Daytona is that way too, but virtual racing is even worse. So even that, I haven't been able to like beat the other 2 courses, but even that first one, it's like, I mean, it's like a coin toss if you're gonna win the race or finish it or not. Even if you run a really good, for what it's worth, video game race. Oh, I wanted to see all three of them sink. That was beautiful too. What'd you move? Different to have the that just the glow of the little shows you mini fella. It's like far less harsh in person. The camera does what it is. What's also wild is, so I fired up, as you can see, I guess I'll just, well, might as well talk about it. So the first setup where you see the VLX Premium, the Helix panel, it's pretty awesome. It is what it is. It's pretty legendary. You'd be shocked though. I got that at Fry's Electronics for $199, and they had three of them in the whole store. It's like, this is a big city. There's something I think with that and Arcade Shock out in Los Angeles about some exclusive deal that they had with those being made. So. Hey, what's up, Jay Foots? Greetings from down in Atlanta. How's it going, bud? Oh, two of them. Almost got three. We haven't gotten all three to do the jingle at the same time. But that dodgeball, the super dodgeball. So yeah, I'll get back to it. The first one, that's a PS4, and that's my whole setup. I've talked about it so many times, but I guess I'll mention it again. It's set up. It's HD. It's the 10 dock HDMI to VGA adapter, and I have a little scan line centralized area in there that gives you all the vertical sync controls, the width, everything. Yeah, that's one of those ACA. Is that Hamster? I guess ACA, the Neo Geo titles on the PSN, but that's what that is. And they do. I'm pretty. I've got a couple of them. on there, and they're really done well, and you can make them look beautiful like this. My big like prerequisite, or there's a few things that when I run it through its paces, they're like more demanding than what most people would care. But I'm trying to like resize it to this from like a modern screen to get it here. Basically, since the games are original and left intact that way, it is, as you can see, you can do it just like it was running on the device. So yeah, that's that. It looks awesome. It's great. And then on the Sigma Raijin Jamma Super Good control box, we have an MV. That is actually a consoleized. You can kind of see the plexi down there in the middle setup. Beneath the Raijin, yeah. So it's kind of that plexi is that's a CMVS unit. It's a CMV1FZ, I suppose we'll call it. Consoleized MV1FC Neo Geo MVS arcade motherboard. And it is running. It does like my Darksoft multi-cart, which I picked up. Man, it's been a while, like 4 years ago. And at that time, there's shit going. I just never got around to doing a video, but I have it. I've done some videos with it. Yeah, it's running on that, and it does like the MV1FC. It's like it doesn't particularly like. It doesn't play nicely with my 4-slot motherboard that came in my old Neo 29 cabinet. I don't have the cab here, but I do have the motherboard. Right? I do have it, don't I? Yes, I do. Because it's still hooked up to the Pano Twin Mom when I had it in the corner over there where the racing setup now resides. All stuff. It's fun to juggle it around and change it up. But yeah, so that's my ex. Down below, it's all like there's a cavern, there are catacombs down there where everything's wired up. There's actually beneath the first setup, there's a Microsoft XRGB2 Plus, which is my favorite line doubler. I like it. It's my favorite one. It's the most versatile. It makes the games look the best because it has the scan line width, thickness kind of setting. The 2 does not. It's still an awesome line doubler as well. Don't get me wrong. If we're talking about, yes, I do believe that the 2 Plus makes a big difference. The thickness of those lines. It's one of the things I really appreciate about the MVS Unico cabinet they did, and like how I do mine in Maine. It's like that's how I want them to look: razor sharp PVM BVM fit, you know. So yeah, I do like it a little bit better. And like I've got the walk off of it. It's PS1 and 2 exclusive, you know. And it doesn't do. It's pretty. There's not much you can't tinker with it or adjust any of the settings, so it's not as fun. And it doesn't even produce its own artificial scan lines. You have to run an intermediary, you know, VGA, SLG in there too. The 2 Plus is I love it. It's the gold standard for like this legacy type equipment because it was better than the 3 as well. And then the Frame Meister is like, when we're talking about the Frame Meister, we've already gone to a new era that doesn't compare to the 1, 2 Plus, and 3. They're in their own grouping, right? Frame Meister's doing something else. It's working with modern flat screen panels. It doesn't look like we're talking about apples and oranges at that point. Just based on the old ones, the 2 Plus seems to have been the fan consensus favorite, and like I love these devices. They've been great fun for my gaming setups over the years, and yeah, I swear by that little one. I've got how many? I think I've got 3 or 4. I got rid of a couple of them. Yeah, so it's I've got the Sigma Raijin, that Jamma Super Gun. It's JP21 RGB up to that unit. Multi-sync 95 NEC monitor. The first one's an AccuSync 900. And then the other one's that Philips 109S something light frame 2. Really like that monitor. That's what I've always used my main Mac OS X main setup on. And really, I've done videos on how I worked all that out. And then there's the Arcade Shock SC19 GC panel. It's like the coolest Hori stick that anyone's ever done. And I did end up getting one. There aren't many of them made back then. They're all kind of custom. They did an MVS like U4 as well. They did the Capcom Big Blue. What else did they do? They actually did like Neo 29s. They did a lot, man. It's not now because like the RIP 4 Kai body has sadly faded out of favor. So it's like all those designs went too, but the customization stuff was wild and off the charts during the Hori RIP 4 Kai time period, man. That's why I did a video. I'm like, that's the shit. That's the stuff we need. They need to just go back to that design. The other ones, it threw off the custom scene totally in a way, in terms of like the aesthetics of the machines, of the panels. So they did a lot of really cool ones, and now it's like you can't really get that. It's harder to get that stuff. It's like they're just not making them. What I think that actually is for the history of it, if anyone's interested, see how it's a red panel. I don't know. I don't remember if they eventually did one for PS4 like that because they did do a blue and a white. You know, maybe they did do a red. Scratch what I was about to say then. I was thinking like maybe that's one of the Switch ones. They did those really cool exclusive Switch ones. Hori did a blue Ryu and like the red or is it the red Ryu and the blue Chun Li, right? Yeah, and they were only on the Switch, man. It was so weird. I'm like, why didn't they do those on PlayStation? Those are dope looking. That's not how it works. I thought maybe it was one of those. I'd have to go back and look at that. It does have that little groove in it that like the one I have, the LS32 version, the black one on the 360 doesn't have the panel just goes straight across. And the Hayabusa one that I have, the panel at the bottom just goes straight across to it. Doesn't have that little, like ridge in it that you can see on the red panel there. So, I mean, I'm not crazy about that opening, but that's what it. So I've got to go back and check to see if those Switch Hori arcade sticks had that little cutout panel. Because if they did, then we'll know that they customized it using one of those. I guess. I mean, unless the PS4 one had that too, and it might have. But you know, why I wonder is because I don't think. Shoot, did it? Now I gotta check. I gotta check. Oh, you know what? No, I lied. I lied. So I'd have the yeah, I have the Hori Hayabusa when they first came out with their proprietary sticks and buttons. They put them on that black one, and the rest is like, and they used them on that too. Unfortunately, I love that, but not a big fan of the Hori. I like the buttons. Kuros are fine. Hayabusa, it's not the best. Son wants Mitsu are way better. But yeah, I have the other PS4 in there in the little tower room. It was hooked up to. It was playing some Darius, so I had that stick in there for the PS4, and it has the cutout too. So that's probably just the PS4 red one that they started at the base with, because then you'd have to do less in terms of the internals. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that's. I don't even remember where I got that. Where did I get that? I can't tell you. Dude, I love that early CPS1 artwork. Um, Especially that one. That one's really interesting. That one has a very strange like. It has a realistic vibe to it, which is kind of cool and different. Um, but you know, like '80s and '90s, like that's late '80s too, and that one just has like a beautiful, beautiful. It's like you know that game, the ancient kind of Chinese history and mythology and all that. They did that one really good, really darn good. Did it well. Of course, the Eco Fighters. That one's sun faded, but it's a classic too. So yeah, there's Capcom stuff I love. Probably it's like my favorite. Kind of a guessing tale also. Yeah, that's what everything is that's running. Now those two kind of sync with the Super Dodgeball as well. But yeah, what's interesting about that Name OSX setup, I do like it a lot. By the way, like the J Rock, the Neobits, whatever it is on that CMVS, when you're just running it even S video and upscale to RGB, it looks amazing. But just kind of, that's temporarily there as well. Yeah, with the MAME OSX, when I fire it up, I haven't fired up Super Dodgeball on that system in man, a real long time. I actually have the MVS card. I haven't played that in forever too. And I don't have a huge collection of games like a lot of people, but it's still you have more than you'll ever play. So it's always like, yeah, I haven't played that in a while. Nothing wrong with it. I like it, but yeah. So see, I don't know, but when I fired it up, it could have been a decade or more since I played that in Maine. I think I would have played it on the MVS card more recently if I did at all. It's still got my DAV initials as number 1. And I'm like, did my emulated uh, Neo Geo motherboard basically have like a list of 8 games like the actual MVS? You know, I've got a bunch of MVS hardware. You know what I'm talking about. It will save the last 8 games played, the scores played, which is the awesome feature of it. Most arcade hardware like CPS2, once you shut it off, it was gone. But yeah, when that fired up, the DAV was number 1 on there. And I'm like, huh? That's wild. Because I think at one point I was building something on there to allow it to do that, and it's like, oh, cool, it worked. Shenmue. Turn that on. See him close. Yeah, but with like a lot of these old posters, you can't really be choosy. You know, if you were looking for originals, it's like, well, whatever's out there. Because if you had said, like, pick the 3 games you would have big posters of, I don't know if I would have selected Tichio Kudao 2, Eco Fighters, and U.S. Navy. Like, probably I wouldn't have selected those 3. But just so happened, like, I was able to find like, decent deals on, like, original pieces. Kit pieces, you know. I had them all framed, done up nice. Actually, so I found this too. Really, I think I did a silly post on it, but I didn't really talk about it. Really cool book from the UK. This, what is it? Retro Gamer Annual, Volume 12. Like the corner of it, where you'd see the new. It says old exclamation point. Look at that Mario. You can we turn on all that. Kid on the cover and SNES Mario Kart. Oh, the Bull Demon from June. Oh man, that game is what is that? Is that Worms? Like the military division? It's hard to see. Something else. Keys. On the bubble. Not the best lighting alternative. Oh, well, they do allow like, which is kind of there was I think those home gaming computers were much more of a thing in the UK. I don't know. I guess they were here too, but you had some over there that were like exclusive to just your region and all. Which I suppose that's true of everywhere. But I just feel like people are maybe we're more into that there. Maybe a generalization. I don't know. 'Cause, like I was always a console guy, you know. Really get into a PC gaming. My parents got Packard Bell for the office at home. And that was a great time for, of course, all the id Software FPS games and like Tomb Raider was awesome on the PC, so much better than consoles. And that was usually the case. It's like think about like Resident Evil and Metal Gear Solid had big box PC versions too. Go, around that same time period. And the games, they're so hard to find, I think, and rare and expensive now. But if you did ever own them, like anybody who, I think like Mega Man X4 was on the big box PC. There's some surprising things. I don't know, maybe a misremembering there, but it's definitely Resident Evil, like big blockbuster story games, adventure games. Resident Evil and Metal Gear Solid did have 480p PC CRT. The reason why the games looked awesome too is they were on this display technology, harnessing more powerful hardware, right? So they were really souped up. And I feel like I'm kind of one of those rare. I just don't feel like, and I could be like millions of people did too, but I had that pyramid shape. It still has the Tower Records price tag. I need to an homage to old Tower Records, which I love. There's some Nagai Hiroshi who did like Hiroshi Nagai did some really cool art. And a lot of them has it's like his Japanese take on like the California Dream or South Florida. Beautiful stuff that was used on a lot of like AOR music, that type of stuff, and like city pop. His artwork is legendary. There's one with Tower Records. I gotta get it for this room. It's beautiful, but yes, I have one. My Tomb Raider like pyramid style box from Tower Records. I still have that big box. And yeah, I was one of the lucky ones who got to play it that way. I feel like. But I think for anyone who had like Resident Evil or Metal Gear Solid, again, just the 480p makes such a big difference. For that type of game, you really want it. Or whatever. The VGA, like 1600 by 1200 was a lot with the native screen. Double. I don't know. Do they want you not showing their like your stuff? Should I not do this? Just a little quick glimpse. Like I like just looking through it. It definitely has. So I did have a subscription back in the day to like the big American magazines that everybody knows, Nintendo Power, EGM, Game Pro, and I'm sure. I mean, you guys. I guess over there they had their own stuff too, but it definitely the way they kind of lay things out. Some of the stuff, the way they display it and talk about it, definitely you can tell they were influenced by like EGM and Game Pro and all Nintendo Power for sure. So that is cool. It brings me back to those days. Look, that's pretty cool stuff. An interview in here, like I don't know, I haven't read through all of it, but John Romero, he looks like Jonathan Davis, kind of anyway, but in that picture. Separated at birth. I always thought kind of a lot actually. Look at that classic Ridge Racer. What a game. That one was. Some newer ones. Yeah, there's a huge, by the way, for this specific one. This is pretty cool, like bubble bobble. And this is one that like it really does merit to do it true justice. You really do have to go over all the home computer and console. There's so many different ports. It's one of the best games ever. Still, like iconic. And you can play that today, and you can hum that music from that NES port, and it's like you are back in the '80s. And it's just a great game. Fun to play. I don't have the PCB, but I do have it. I think I've got it emulated in my MAME setup over there. So. GD thing I bought did come with a small, like, an SD card loaded with stuff already, so that should be good. Because I'll tell you, I don't know. I've got a couple of, like, I guess you could say, I think, fairly interesting applications for different setups with two Dreamcasts. People who have been a fan of my channel for a long time, first of all, I appreciate that. All the different friends and stuff you made. But I mean, people will probably remember I don't know, I did like a mock makeshift Sega versus City candy cap setup in Japan. Sega versus City caps were meant to be back to back, or you could put them side by side in certain configurations. So it'd be like one versus fighting game panel for one player when they're going head to head. So I kind of did that with these very tables you're looking at. A couple of them, like a makeshift Sega Dreamcast versus setup, and I did the video. It's still up on my channel. So I have where is it? Grab it. Sega versus Dreamcast setup in the basement. That was awesome. Where did I put that? It's right here. Yeah, I don't want to pick it up because it's suction feet. The Sega Virtua Stick, they're in a good spot on that table. Yeah, I had that on one of them, just like I used to have that right where the Raijin is in this particular setup too. But I had that on one side, and it's just one Dreamcast console now, mind you, two TVs. So I was using that LS56, really nice quality Sega Virtua Stick Saturn through the Total Control 3 Dreamcast or Saturn to Dreamcast adapter, right? Yeah, it must have been. And then I had the ASCII-ware, the green. Who made that one? Dreamcast stick, which is like a knockoff of that nice quality Seimitsu Sega Saturn stick, you know? Now the Dreamcast one, the green and gray one, it's just not as nearly as good. But I did have one back then. Now that I think about it, so player one was the adapter Saturn joystick, and player two was like the Dreamcast stick. One Dreamcast, two Trinitrons, or one was a Philips. But so I had a Dreamcast S video cable. It was like the joint S video composite cable. So you had your red, white, yellow, your stereo audio, and composite poopy video. And then you had the much nicer S video quality. So the Dreamcast was so versatile. It had VGA 480p, but if we're just talking SD low res, yeah, that's the best you could get in North America, right, or Japan too, because we didn't really use RGB extensively, especially. But then again, the Dreamcast mostly you want to be in 480p, so it's not like a big time RGB need for that console anyway. It's one of those, as most people know. But anyway, so just the one console, the two CRT. So yeah, as you can imagine, I just plugged one S video into one TV, and I gave it like the red channel audio. Then I plugged the composite into the other TV and gave it like the white channel audio. So you got it was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed that video. Is still up. Sega versus Dreamcast. It's a little Fight Club room. So, long story short, Marco Polo taking the long route to China. I kind of want to do something like that again with the Dreamcast. So if I had the one that I have, I'm sorry, like this, and then the GDEMU one, it would be kind of neat to do something similar to a video setup like I did with that back then. Oh yeah, I missed your comment. Sorry, I'm just blabbering about this. Trying to entertain you. It's the late night CRTcade Scanline Express. It's like a radio station. Just talking about games. Yeah, I would play some music too. I actually want to, but I fear that they will come down on me with the wrath of the gods. Hit with a lightning bolt. Yeah, it's fun. So many years later, somebody made a comment on the video. He was like, "Oh man, a rich gamer, I love it" or something, and it's like, oh man. And I was talking to. We kind of did it. All three. I consider that a W. If anyone else saw that, the three Neo Geo legendary intro screens all syncing. Anyone else catch that? It took how long? How long have we been rolling? It took that long for it. That was the first time that it occurred, unless it happened when I was in the bathroom. The puzzle bobble looks really good. You know, like I've had anybody who's tried to use the hamster downloads on the PS4, I guess Switch. You know, you run into like somebody did also the IGS PGM arcade collection, but it got really bad reviews for what because with my PGM, I was talking to Luke about that earlier. Well, yeah, so my PGM not being functional. When they did release that, I thought like I might give that a try if it's cheap when it comes to the PS4. But um, I didn't ever own the Switch, so just recently got a Switch 2 when it came out like last summer. So now I do actually have access to stuff like that. But back then I didn't, and it's actually kind of slipped my mind. I never got it back around to. Like I said, did download the $7.99 Virtua Racing. That's about it that I have done with the eShop, but did enjoy it back in the day on the Wii U. Just, I skipped that generation, didn't get the first one. So it's like you kind of have it anyway, that it's backward compatible. So it's like virtual racing's been out that board for a real long time. Yeah, maybe like 8 years. But you're telling like it's like your memory of that generation for that console. It's like it's non-existent because you didn't own the thing. That stage cool. Love that stage. First class road. Oh yeah, so I saw a lot of people talking about this. It just came to my mind kind of too. It's kind of interesting. I like how the Neo Geo keeps getting these like, new iterations. It's just so cool that it kind of just keeps getting reborn. It's like when they did the X Gold. I got it. I knew Election did. A bunch of people did, and I remember at the time I was just kind of excited about the idea. I think more than the actual product. So I remember at the time I made a review where I was like kind of like overly glowingly positive about it in retrospect, and it's so like after rethinking what I'd said out of the moment, it's like it's such a bad video. Like I had to get rid of the video because it's like it's not giving people the honest opinion. I don't want to mislead anyone. It's like that's garbage, dude. That thing sucks. There's no way to really spin it positively. Um, and I don't know why. The stick is cool. You can use it in MAME. I did a few things with it like that, but it's just really bad. It's 480i output. You know, it doesn't have a low res output because it was HDMI, and that's garbage. I'll say this: the handheld unit for the X Gold is cool. The screen looks really nice when you play it that way. I don't even know where mine is. Should fire that back up. It's somewhere. So that is cool. But then I guess it's maybe that's what I was like being positive about, which is true. I will tell you even now, but the 480i is something you really can't overlook. And then the HDMI was just a 480p blown up on your 1080p screens. It was just it was so washed out and didn't look good at all. Yeah, it's like ups and downs with that thing, but the new announcement is that. See, I'm interested to see what it'll be like. I don't know what the hardcore Neo Geo people, because I'm not really in touch with any of them anymore. I could ask Luke. I wonder what he would say, or I don't know any of the other guys in the community. I haven't talked to any of them about it, how they actually feel about that new AES that's coming out, which is going to be. See, I don't know all the specifics. If it's HDMI and then you have the low res 480i problem instead of 240p, like I'm putting this out there because these companies actually need to start thinking about this now, like that. Because I'm the guy you want to talk to, and it's like that would kill some of these Neo Geo hardcore people. Won't even accept this at all. But I like the idea, and I'm just saying if you give me 480p out of your, I don't know, does it do RGB like SCART or JP? I'd like that. So I don't think all the video board is doing all of this. It'll be really interesting to see. If you claim to have low res ST output and you give them freaking 480i for using SCART or something, that's just going to be so. That would ruin it. It's like I'd be interested to know what a lot of people have pre-ordered. It came with 10 games and they pre-ordered them all. I guess they're making them like obviously way different looking and distinguishable from like the original cards. It's not like they're bootlegging them. So I think the idea is cool in that regard. And they're priced a lot lower. It's like, those games are ridiculous on the real. So I found that for under three figures, not like less than $100. I did find a Fatal Fury, the first one on the AES recently, so I thought that was a really good find. You just can't find stuff like that. But I like this new idea. I don't know all the specifics, like the video output stuff that's killer important. I mean, as ridiculous as it sounds, you're gonna have to hit a home run on that one. Get like low res like that, and I think people would do that. Well, I mean, I know also that a lot of people do use the mic chi stuff now. So, like the retro sync stuff, or what else is there? The other one that came out before it that's really good. What's that one called? But I don't know if people are just into playing a lot of their games that way anyway. So, if the HDMI is sharp and scaled well and it looks good, I guess maybe that's good enough for people. I just think like it needs to have some kind of way to do low res output as well if you're gonna like advertise them. Because Neo Geo games in 480i on a CRT they would look horrible. It's not quite as good. I hadn't. It was my brother and I were out looking at stuff, and yeah, it's like I had. I don't think I had purchased an AES game before that, and it might have been before my channel even started. It's been a little bit of time. It just you can't really. You can see a good deal like that, and it's not one of the rare ones. It still goes for a lot more than that. It's cool to get to have stuff like that happen in 2020. With the new one, these new cards that they're bringing out, I mean, they have gone with. You have to say some really good ones right out of the gate. Like it's Neo Turf Masters on there, the first Metal Slug, Last Blade. I guess Last Blade is it really is one of those games that usually like your Metal Slugs are pretty popular. But, I mean, Samurai Showdown. I guess I never thought of Last Blade as being as popular as those, but I think maybe it is. It seems to be. If they made that one of the first 10 titles, I don't know if there was some way they gauged interest. Like I didn't, so I think they sold out of the pre-order. So I'm not getting into it, but like I'll see what it'd be fun to see videos from people, what they think. If anyone, somebody will, of course. But yeah, I'm still somewhat surprised. I guess I shouldn't be, but I never would have thought back in the day that back when I was like getting AES cards, like 20 years ago, I never would have thought nowadays it would be so mainstream. For like, I guess I don't know whatever you want to consider that within the retro niche, which is bigger and bigger every day. I just wouldn't have expected people to be trying to really interested in the recreation of these experiences, but it's like clearly they're all over the download sites and everything. So it is really amazing how Neo Geo persisted. And if you think about the time period in which the games were being developed, it's got to be hold some sort of record, like 1990 to 2003. Um, the AES console, like I'm not saying it was bringing in the big bucks for SNK, but it was a console that they supported from 1990 to 2003. The Neo Geo AES. I think that's pretty amazing. So it's always super underground, but back then, and millions of people, kids, everyone, adults, everyone liked video games. It's like you knew about the Neo Geo if that was your era. But so you do remember seeing it in stores, but then like gradually it seemed like you wouldn't see it as much pretty early on. It's like we can't sell these, we're not stocking them, the Rolls Royce. So it became like in the late '90s, it was almost like you wouldn't Neo Geo, you wouldn't see it at all, but it was still being produced in small quantities. Games, it's really interesting. So yeah, like as a kid in arcades in 1990 and onward, Neo Geo is like ubiquitous with my experiences in that era. Like it's one of the ones that is most vivid to me. Probably why I like collected so much of it. I like it. Arcade machines, everything. It was amazing stuff. I mean, it's still great. So, and of course, just that console coming out at that time period, the same time, like most of us, the way we got to experience it was through the big red cabinets. So everywhere back then, you'd see them. Literally, they were everywhere, and then you'd notice the variations, like the one slots, the twos, or if you saw four. That was kind of something pretty special. If you remember back Now it got to the point where there were a lot of them that you would see them. It was cool like the first time you'd see a new Neo Geo CAD. Yeah, dude. Well, hey, how's it going? So I redid this whole side over here. Yeah, I like it a lot better how it is. So it's cool to have a room like this. It's been fun. Like yeah, change it up a lot. It's my arcade game room slash storage room. You know. Just run for a little bit. I mean, I don't do these that much. Like I was saying though, I like how on that Helix panel, it does really look cool how it reflects. And when I had the dragon, the Quanbot dragon in the middle, it has that same finish. So it's like a reflecting pool. The image, you see it twice like that. And so, yeah, but you don't get that with the Raijin there in the middle. I liked it so much, in fact, that I was like, the SC19, I never got around to it. I should have just taken the SC19 off and put the RAP4 Kai, the Hayabusa Kuro. It's not quite as big of a space. Does it reflect the same way? But it would look cool. I'll do that. You will see that at one point. The triple, like, jet black reflecting pool of these three with the VLX, the Quanbot Dragon, and the RAP4 Kai Hayabusa. I guess it would do that too. Two of them like that looks it's a cool effect. In the dark, you got stuff. Sleek. Sleek and shoot. I mean, it's like, I like having that. And then it kind of looks like, well, it's dull. It's all the same color. And when you think of like the Japanese arcades, it's like a freaking circus, right? The colors exploding everywhere. The candy, pink and greens and everything. So it's like such a staple of like Japanese arcades. It might feel weird to not have that. Well, like I was talking to Luke, and a couple of people stopped by. All right, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I'm having some strange issues with my phone. Yeah, I've been tethered to the wall this whole time. It's kind of why I didn't get around to playing anything. It just went off for some reason. I'll change it actually. You know what? Nobody's in there no more. Uh, There's the GD box. There's the book, a couple other books. I don't know if this thing's gonna stay. I don't know if the battery's gonna work too much. That looks really good, though. Let me see. There's a couple of. Yeah, it's like it's got. I'm gonna tweet it. And I'm not. Somebody will complain, like, probably not. Oh, back in the day, it was like. I'll probably cut off some of the pictures. But like if I do that, it's like you get a better view of the monitor. It just might cut off the top a little bit. These ones give you an option to like go. See, their screen filter is on, and you can see it almost looks like a blur by linear filtering. There's some really weird ones. They're not great, man. We bypass those. Like you can even see from this. If you're, um, by the way, man, off topic, but a little bit not. I saw some of the iconic arcades, Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha 2 complaints. People are like, look at how bad the scan lines are. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like the old 768p, 720p conundrum and CPS2. You throw that into a fixed pixel display, and it's like they're not right. It hasn't been. Are they not using a proper scaling algorithm? To be like a little bit creative with, but people were complaining about it. It's like, oh God, well, guess I'm not like I was planning on getting one, but it's like, really, guys. Let me get wider. That might look interesting for this game, actually, instead of turning on the ACA titles do give you visuals that are displayed near the edge of the screen that were like cut from the original versions. So I can kind of fit that into a little thing. I don't know. So, did I turn it off? I think no, sorry. No, see, yeah, that's what I meant to do. The even on zero, so and these have been out for years, so people probably know it. But why not just repeat the info? It says get the look and feel of the original display, and A 1 through 5. applies to the scan lines. B1 through 5 applies to scan lines as well as scrolling lines, which is strange. Why would you want to include that refresh? It's like basically what you see sometimes when you're filming a CRT. They have that in there. I don't know why you'd want it. And then when you do like A1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's now you're seeing that because I've got my SLG on as well, so they're like working against each other like that. You get into even at 0, it's not putting out any simulated scan lines, but it does have the filtering on top of it, so you just gotta like flip it to off, and then you get it, and then it looks really crisp, and you know how you want it to look on these monitors. That's interesting with the extra width on the sides with that feature. That looks kind of good for this game. Like you can really, the screen fills up with the stage. Both of those games, Last Played and Last Played 2. That's great. Samurai Showdown games, I mean, I really like them as well. Those posters over there, the frames, Samurai Showdown 5, and then I should a cheaper Target frame for that one. It looks fine, it's good. The Last Blade poster, that one cost me. Now that Samurai Showdown 5 came with the MVS kit that I think I got that from a long time ago. Arcade Shop too, I think. But yeah, I had of course, like the brown carton that you'd get with the kits and like the move strips and that full size poster, which is awesome. I've always had that. I've had that in my game room for a long time, for over a decade. The Last Blade one that I just kind of used a cheaper framing method. Got that in there too. I kind of want to put them up behind the TVs on the side of the wall. Look good. I don't have. I don't have. See on my MAME setup over there, I don't have that many Neo Geo games. I've got like a Metal Slug or something. It's mostly like CPS 1 and CPS 2 titles and it's not even complete or comprehensive. I was so lazy with that. I said it's really an awesome MAME setup, but it is kind of a lot of work to go through and do all of that auditing the ROMs and organizing the folders and just like there are so many games out there. I kind of feel like if you do go the route of getting like those hard drives people get where there's like 1,000 games, you'll be overwhelmed by that. Same thing with those Pandora's boxes. I don't know. I guess I'd like to try one. I never did, but it's like the filtering always bothered me. The screen filtering. You're gonna get like some ROMs that don't work on it. So yeah, I mean, I had like the classic Konami beat 'em ups on that. A couple of shmups like that I don't have that you couldn't get any other way other than an expensive arcade board that I didn't want to buy. So like the Thunder Force AC. What else? I'm drawing a blank. It's a Konami game, side-scrolling one by Konami. I don't. I don't think so. I know my buddy Mister Dude 206 had one, and I think he's had a couple. But I think I've asked him like time and time again over the years because I'm always like wondering if they've done any new improvements. But I don't think he mentioned anything really changing all that much from the older versions to the newer ones. I've never tried them. That's all I can say. Still, the wavy flame effect, how they program that in there is kind of neat. Yeah, that's I don't know. Like I'm not gonna bash the thing too incredibly hard because I've never owned one. I've never seen it on location or anything like that. I just think I remember hearing like it had a few things like that going on with it. It's like that's what it's. It doesn't matter though if you're putting that on location somewhere or whatever. Just people to drop in some coins and play, I guess. I mean, like really, for a lot of people at home, it doesn't matter that much either, which I can understand. For me, it's just fun to mess around with the stuff this way, but like I get it. If somebody does, that's cool too. Only reason I mean, and I say that just because it's like at some point you make concessions on certain things. You're like, well, fuck it, I'm not gonna go to the lengths it would require to make this look this good. This is good enough. So I mean, I totally get using them if people want to. Okay. Is it already made? See. I don't play this. It's like I really haven't played this one that much because I never owned it. I did have the first one on the Neo Geo CD, but one of the characters is so. It's like that one, I think. Maybe I'll play it. It was an addition to the roster. Wasn't included on the first one. Can't recall her name. This game's beautiful too, just like the first. One or two buttons. Ah, come on. I can't get it down right now. Oh, Hayabusa. I don't like the Hayabusa, I'm telling you. What the fuck? Oh. Oh, because my buttons are mapped like in that weird Neo Geo fashion where it'd be like X square triangle R1. You know, the curved. Like a lot of them had that, but I was thinking square triangle R1 L1 like a top row, which I like better. That's why I couldn't do the super. That makes sense. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that layout. Like, you know, certain Neo Geo layouts where you'd have to angle your hand and do the. I just don't like that one. We're gonna have to change that. Oh, some blood. Hefty. Oh, damn. Sweet. I mean, just it's just the details off. Hear the game we're playing. Listen to that. It's so good. Oh, that button, it keeps screwing me up. Now I'm all like out of rhythm. Ah, see? Like I'm trying to dash kick and it's like it's the wrong button. Keep your index finger on this one. Oh, it just plays with my mind. I can't do it. Oh, I can't. Let's see. Adjust it there. We're just gonna play it this way because I don't want to feel like resizing the screen for that. Ah, terrible. Ah, be on this layout. I don't want to be on this side of this layout. That's messed up. I just can't pull that move off with this layout. That would be an instant. Oh, Oh man, going to here. My hand stab was on this. Oh yeah, you're gonna tobacco. Wrong buttons. And I actually got it off to keep hitting that wrong button. Oh, that was bad. Usually do okay at the first one. Oh, maybe I'll. But you know what? Dang, it's gonna be the same layout. No, actually with JAMA, maybe it'll be A, B, C, and then D will be mapped to 4, which would be preferable. Look, what am I doing? What are the buttons for this? Ridiculous. Because when you're shifted over, your brain is like one button. I don't know. I don't like that layout. Alright. Oh, can I get over here? There's a credit in there. Reach. Maybe I can't do this gameplay. And in that case, we'll just end this. But nobody's there. Let's see. There we go. It's all right. That one. I find like for me, I get rustier much more quickly at these than just Street Fighter because they're a little less intuitive. I feel like everybody kind of their brain locked to that Street Fighter 2 system pretty well, so everything else feels a little different. So to go a little bit of time without playing Last Blade or Samurai Shodown. I feel like it's like that tripped me up just having the buttons shifted. Try this, see what this one does. JAMA should be wired to 4. So 1, 2, 3 on the Ryzen will be like. The demo track sequence for Last Blade 2 is definitely better than 1, for sure. I don't look at the 2 as often, but forget about that. But I always kind of considered the aesthetic and ambience of the first one to be. I don't know if you can hear me. I just like artistically, I liked the first one better than the second one. I don't know what it was. Everything about it. But I hadn't played the second one nearly as much, so that could be part of it. The Neo Geo CD port, I'll tell you, back in the day, was the best cost-effective, like really cheap way you could get a Last Blade at home. And the CD it's pretty much running it 1-to-1. I think maybe some frames are cut out in some games, but it is the Neo Geo arcade game on that CD system. It's just the load times are brutal, and it's like no shit, Sherlock, right? Everyone knows that. No, but that one specifically is like it almost makes it unplayable. The first Last Blade, you wait and wait and wait and wait. The worst is between like taunts and like each stage. You have to go into the mode where you turn off like the elaborate, more detailed character select screen just to save time. Well, yeah, still, I didn't care. Like, back then, and what was weird actually, I don't know why I didn't get the MVS card sooner than I did. Because once I got that, really, it was like, and it wasn't that pricey back then either, to be honest. I guess now maybe it is, I don't know. But for several years, like more than several, I just lived with the Neo Geo CD port. And I don't know, I still enjoyed it a lot. The load times would be just, oh my god. I think there's a vid up on my channel of gameplay. It'd be so funny to bust that out. Not for now, but the load time, my god. Tired. Good thing it's Saturday. The Raijin, man. Raijin. It's I don't know. I like it a lot. Like as far as the super gun control boxes go, one player panel. Really, it's not a great two-player panel, but that's who cares. Like, I do have a Vega Junior. That's the one that is really good for me. Let's see where I'm at too. I'm done. Yeah, this is yeah. I mean, just like Cyberbots, of course. It's just your standard gym without the kick harness. You know, you're getting used to the 4 buttons. So I would always actually had the Cyberbots yellow CPS2 rental board way before I had. You little messed up my soup. Way before I think I eventually got a PlayStation 1 port of it too. It's not as good, of course. Yeah, I had. It was a good find, and yeah, I used to play it on this very super gun in that old room where I had it on the Japanese coffee table. That is now under my dueling Trinitron setup. All this stuff's it's been awesome over the years. Wanted to get a hefty. God, that's terrible dialogue. This big old glute. There we go. I've actually taken. Oh. Alright. Stuck to doing the one thing. Damn it. Oh. No. It's awesome to play this on the Ryzen. Always don't. A lot of these things are so minty because it's like, how much time do you actually have to use? Like, this thing is still pristine. Enjoyed it quite a bit over the years, but I take good care of my stuff too. Oh no. There we go. Waiting for that phone. I'm back in the world. Oh, this guy's tricky. Into the fatigue stages. We'll stop after this. Oh man, not thinking. You know, you got the infinites, and now. Oh, come on. Yeah, dude. Oh, what a comeback. That's what I love about this game, man. get me this time though. Ah man, I couldn't pull off the not back there. Dang, that's good. Get it out there. Ah, into that well too often. Ah, he's got me. And I was like, pause, get it off there. Wait, is that the? God, man, I am tired. Ah, man, that threw me off. I thought it was over. Ah, man, I said, what are you doing? Sweep the leg. Like body him. What the hell? Ah, really? Oh man, it's just like, why did I do that? That's it again. Ooh, good band. Ah. Am I coining in like a? Yeah, I am. I don't know what the coin button is. Oh, that's weird. It's button 5. Coining in. As is the actual one. The buttons are wired up on this thing. Oh, okay, that distracted me. The credit button is on 5 in the coin. Yeah, it was like 10 credits of the 5 button press. Okay. Yeah. one. Okay. Harness for this kind of really is nice because in order to, I don't remember how many inches I have, but it's really close to the door. I like how it's sectioned off. So um, all of these tables I use like leg lifters to get this one, which is not the same as these two, to match it in height, and the surface area is good. I did get an extra long loom harness from Tops Japan in Akihabs, and that is quite useful here because my the harness from the fingerboard can kind of go down and just go slot under into here and rest on this table, which has a shelf. This one doesn't. So it gets, but yeah, the clutch that works nicely. And I will tell you this. I'll make this quick. Me rambling, but I'm tossing nuggets to the nobody's up here. But you can watch. People can watch the replay. Yeah. So, like, if you're, so there's a lot of ways people do this. So if you're in the U.S. and you like with Europe, you're using converter anyway. But the voltage ranges are within that number 10 tolerance rating, obviously, to 20 with like U.S. and Japanese NTSC appliances. So it's like, with the XRGB2s, sometimes they've been in difficult places to access, but this one works out pretty well where I have it. I still do unplug that. I've seen people get switchers where you just flip them on and off. Ideally, with any form of electronics, like it doesn't even matter if it's for the same region it's in. It's safer from thunderstorms, from everything. If you unplug it, it's not like a wall wart either. It's not humming and getting warm. So, but especially with Japanese stuff, PSUs do get a little warmer than you'd like. AC adapters, this and that. So yeah, I've always unplugged like the Waka and the XRGBs on that. The thing I like about the Raijin, obviously, it's a beautiful piece of kit. It plays amazingly. I don't even know what the buttons are for it or anything. I never looked in there. But now after I've gotten that Sanwa and the Kwama Dragon, I'm like, wait, maybe these are Sanwas and not. It's weird because LS32. I think those, dude, it's so wild. I think the LS32s in JLFs, at least how, if those what those are, and some of them, like the spring tension, they don't feel crazy different to me. They both feel way better than, I think, the Hayabusa, which is, dude, the Sanwas are way more like an LS32 than a Hayabusa. Would you people agree? I don't know. Like I said, when I started playing Sanwa again, I'm like, damn, dude, these are good. So I don't know if that's what those are, but with the Raijin, the cool thing is, look, it has a detachable cord here. It's so clutch for me because I just pull that out and like rest it right here under this cord, and it's one less thing. My ass has to get down there on knees and like get down there like the arcade OP and like get down there and play a home arcade operator, and I don't get any money to do that. Reach and unplug it and do all that. It saves me a mega step to where it's like I like having this here. And it's Neo Geo. Every Neo Geo game is the best RGB down there. So this is probably going to be staying here for a while. That'll give us a lot of gameplay opportunities. But all right, guys, talk to you soon. Have a good one. Have a nice Saturday night and Sunday weekend. So yeah, take care. Bye.